Well, we are at the Staybridge Suites in Ann Arbor for Kelly Hoffer's book release, but the reason that we're in a hotel is because my hotel night was expiring. So what better do we want to tour the room? Okay, this is the sink. We have a bathroom with the typical bathroom furnishings. We have Dove. You're not going to be able to hear me all that well because I don't have the microphone attached. We have a toilet. It is immaculate. I don't know. I'm scared to check. We'll just say yeah. I don't know what the hell's back here. It's just to close this. Nightstand, a phone, a bed, some curtains. Look at the light adjust. I love it when cameras do that. Got the big TV and some drawers. I got the AC. We got all my stuff in the corner. We've got some artwork. We've got some place to put your feet, some place to put your body, a desk if I plan on being studious. I might grade an assignment or two. We've got the door and my shadow. Look at that. Look at those broad shoulders. And we've got the kitchen. It's supposed to be a full kitchen. This doesn't look like a full kitchen. Oh, I mean, I guess it is. Barely. You can cook on this thing here. That's not any quality cooking. Let's see, did anybody leave me a gift? Absolutely not. Alright, what about here? Nope. Alright, that's it.
I'm gonna come in and
You're great,
but I'm okay.
I'm
okay.
Hi,
Hey, look me, I could all look.
Fire series undertakes a poetic investigation into grief and sex, loneliness and restlessness within intimacy, and language's ability to make, unmake, and remake things. Our second poet we'll be reading is Tracy Zeman. She writes at the intersection of ecology and culture, habitat and habitation. Zeman teaches at the University of Michigan. It's very fun having a speech impediment. Speaking in front of people is lovely. Sorry to make you all uncomfortable. It's okay. And Tracy lives outside of Detroit. Michigan. See, I'm having trouble with my M's and my V's today. So every time I'm up here, I'm like, what letter is it going to be today? We'll see. Anyway, her new book, Interglacial, connects the changing landscape of the Great Lakes at our deep past and near future. And then we will also be hearing from Kameryn Alexa Carter. Kameryn is a Black poet. She is the founding co-editor of Emergent Literati, an online journal for the work of Black and Brown artists. She is a poetry student at the Helen Zell Writers Program at the University of Michigan. Her new collection, Antediluvian, engages with themes of the ecstatic desire, mental illness, and spirituality. Let's give our speakers a warm welcome.
Two amazing poets, the releases of our books. So first I'm going to start out with some poems for the book, and then I'll move on to some new poems possibly. The first is called 11 Addresses to the Lord. I'm going to just read the first one, and the title is in reference to a series of poems by John Berryman. 11 Addresses to the Lord. 1. Lord, this languish is dedicated to the project of my salvation. Long hungry, long been weary, so long the chimeras visit me in sleep. I spin blessed assurance from my lips, hoping for alchemy, knowing nothing is sure, knowing there is not enough blessed oil in the world to make me gold. even as I hope you're waiting to call me, even as I know a railroad is one sort of room, even as I have tried and failed to make a home in your heel, I've no friend like you, Lord, only your feet to cleanse that I should make a home in you. I will never touch that hem, sheared edge underturned, this flesh never anointed enough to summon the sun. Lord, I am gall, head sick him to death. At every cock's crow, oh come, keep me in thy bosom, even as I know a line is one sort of broken talus, that this valediction is another sort of room, that I can make a home in it. Amen. Amen. The next poem is titled Outside. Outside. Yes, I lost the lottery. I can never write about the moon again, only the neon ball locked between the dog's fangs, only what it's like to see without glasses. I buy expensive oils which come in dark bottles labeled sleep. I buy expensive oils which come doorstep, so I need not leave. The eggplant talks to me. The dog talks to me, but I don't know Basque. The weeks wind so tight. Drowning was long ago, but it's come up again, vomiting lake onto the butcher block in the kitchen. Depression commercial crudité. This lottery is not a game. One cannot describe the taste of fennel as it is unlike anything else. Hold, I have just been informed of black licorice. Outside the poem, the phone is ringing. Pick it up. This poem is titled Kef 21, and it's after the poet Henry Dumas, who I adore, and is kind of a patron saint to me, so I'm hoping to summon him a little here tonight. Kef 21. First, there was the cash in my mouth. I was the prized pig, ponytail stretching my friendly face into a shock. There were the tributaries my piss made in the chalky dirt, their urgency, uttering homophones under a limestone sky. The parishioner who painted over the 20th century Jesus had it right. I am not wishing to be rendered into eternity, nor am I wishing to be made whole, only I am reaching toward the sublime in me. And I don't know if you guys remember that lady, she just passed this year, who painted over the fresco of Jesus. And that was a nod to her. R.I.P. Love her very much.
Okay, so the first poem I'm going to read is called North. Sand cliffs at Sleeping Bear Point. As we search for stones, daughter wants to keep them. Silt memorial, compass sediment, long dead trunks of ancient cedars washed on shore, on pitch and ghost forest. We try to see across the long blue, our feet wet at the edge of a new country, beach pea of the sea. Early spring, common mergansers on the pond, first migrant yellow rumps and bluebirds, traverse foredunes and back dunes scattered by blowouts of barren sand eroded by wind. The smell of the lake follows me inland, wood smoke and spruce supreme, embers cool to dark. Lighthouse shadow divides the bay in two. Cormorants dive from the water's surface, webbed feet propelling them to the depths where the dead go. Waves clambering up the rock face, an uncontrolled experiment of scale and intensity we've never known. Sweet seas foam flecked. Daughter makes up a song as she watches the ship recede from shore, lit as brightly as a small city. We camp on the sands on that same wind, orange tent starred against brink. Mile-thick ice sheets fracture slate and bedrock, leave dune and drift in their wake. Coral body, sea into stone. Shale shaped by water into river valleys, my canoe seemed as if it hung suspended in that element. Rough-hewn forts built by fur traders in black robes, longboats portaging, smooth gray and pink undulated rocks whirl up to the forest surface, Precambrian remnants. Gneiss shot with granite. Black-capped chickadee's two-tone whistle in early morning. Call it creative destruction or the power of our bodies, so that we alone can live here in fear of the still places. Night descends in waves of black water, the drift and slip of a body, pale necks stretched in flight, wings snap over tamarack. Upper Peninsula. Fayette Ghost Company Town at Earth End limestone and dolomite cliffs. Smelt ore into pig iron, slag heaped beneath laborers' quarters, behind metalsmith and carpenter. Kilns open skyward now, structures of perception. Garden Peninsula tapers to Fish Town, to second growth hardwood after charcoal cuttings. Stratifications of both kinds. Snail, curl, harbor. What word was used to raise I was under a mosquito sky, canoeing the Manistee River. Breeding sites rife after another wet spring. Puddles and worms swarm over us. Jacket cover through Seni, swerve. Orders of civilization. Constructed system construes. Angry goose trails our wake. Protecting goslings. Indigo bunting flashes bright from bank. Intelligible mark. Skin raised red. At Scott Point, hundreds of Canadian swallowtails blanket sand. Dorsal baskers, tide pool flutter, sustained project. Black roots, broken white shells, lyre-leaved rock crests, pollen float. Clusters of fire-stained stones, hearth remainder. Agency in the context. Drive back on Gould City Road. 2 sandhill cranes edge a ready-mix plant. We stop to watch primary producer.
I'll read a poem and then we'll talk a little bit. Fire, excuse me, fire interval. 3 cranes painted yellow crest the mountain face. Fire. Below, the gas barbecue on the hotel deck wears a little coat for storage. Fire. On the trail, we talk about strip club bureaucracy and department stores, and I find a flower called Pretty Face. Fire. A strange name for a feeder, a strange name for a lion. Fire. Adam calling the animals calls himself. Fire. I forget my body for a minute. Fire. Back at the resort, I watch a video of someone's hands tapping an overturned ceramic vessel to center it on a wheel for trimming. Fire. The video tells me to hold my fingers at 3, 7, and 10 o'clock. Fire. Angels keeping busy, tidy needles in heaven's corner. Fire. The labor of the spinning disc. Fire. Fire. Adam names the lodgepole pine before he has need of shelter. Fire. I watch a video from above. Fire. A pool I cannot sound. Fire. I think. Fire. Not for the first time. Fire. Of Adam without interior. Fire. Adam with no rooms to enter. Fire. Adam with no rooms to offer. Fire. What would he make of my face? Crowned in fire, fire, fire. An exit without a room to feed it, and who is roaring through? Fire. Evening will be coming round the mountain when she comes. Hello. My name's Kelly. I'm very pregnant, and my lung capacity is waning, and so bear with me. I've been trying to do this thing where I read my poems more slowly, and then I get excited and I fail because I just end up speeding up. This is my book, Fire series. It came out yesterday, which means it is a fire horse, for those of you who know. And also today is Ash Wednesday. Everything's aligning, right? Fire, fire everywhere. And not a drop to spare. Great. I'm so happy you're here. I'm so glad we don't always listen to our husbands and put birds in our poems. Matt, what are you thinking? And I'm also just proud of my own taste because I invited both of these poets, and I'm just delighted to be reading with both of you. It was really wonderful to sit and listen and be present with your work. Okay, now I have to wrangle my breath a little bit. I'm going to read a poem called Pluming. And it's several pages long, so if I'm turning pages, just bear with me. Okay, it's difficult. Pluming. The mind shivers between two forms. In the morning, I am a rabbit. In the evening, I am a duck. The poem, the line trailing, the sun never quite catching. Where to? Which animal is it becoming? Which mammal are you abandoning? I follow the fiery dot. The horizon pens me in. Night comes to me, extending its feathers. To end on an image is to avoid a decision, yet here I stand, still, in two streams, water collaring my ankles, each prickling in its sensuous confusion. I think about the dying I will be doing someday. Sight goes before hearing, so I am told. Our last images, I imagine, are sonic ones. An abstract fantasia glows in green and rust blooming. The more I write, the more I find myself weaving a tenuous line, having thought the thought too often about my last words to my mother, her last words to me. I worried them down. I fear I have lost them. I fear my poems about her death will replace her. I am constant in my remaking, making my memory in my own image, a plaintive, soft-plated mouth. If I am a bird, I am a young one. Photographs may, I ask permission, correct our grief, but they are always also grieving. A death mask is the image I do not want to end on. When my mother died, her eyes were already closed, and she was surrounded by the sound of her children holding their breaths, listening for her to leave the room. How do I protect my mother from my lyric tendency to add the ornament, be it polish, poison, or pith? A poet, one who loves me, tells me that I try so hard to make my language bloom, asks what would happen if I asked it to do something other than flourish. What image did my final liquid message leave on the screen of my mother's dying brain? Did it move? Was it beautiful? Did my last sounds come to her as fireworks come to a child closing their eyes and tapping out sparks on their eyelids? Okay. Happier poem, potentially. This is a poem about birds and moms. It's all coming together. This poem is called Brood Parasite. I think some of you have heard me read it before, but if you're unfamiliar, a brood parasite is a kind of animal that basically inserts its young into the care of another animal, and that the young takes over, right? So cuckoo birds do this. So the cuckoo will put their eggs in the nest of another bird, and then the bird hatches and basically steals food from mama cuckoo, and sometimes, mama non-cuckoo, right? The cuckoo, okay, we got it, okay, great. We're done. The baby's stealing. Okay. Brood parasite. If we agree we take, possession of the things that bear us. If we agree to brood is to cherish with the mind, to brood is to try to hold a cloud in your mouth without letting on that it's there. The nest doesn't belong to the hatchling as it belongs to the eggs. If we accept a possession is the thing you own, is the ghost that rules you. A hatchling takes possession, empties a nest by pushing eggs over the woven lip with its unfeathered tail. Property is a two-way street, I like to think. My mother, for example, my grief for another. The broken eggs belong to the ground, and the ground to the blood-streaked yolks. An example, even, belongs to its abstract shell. Ownership is an obstacle to unletting, sex better on a rented bed, pleasure freer overheard by a faceless neighbor. The baby didn't speak my tongue, but I understood her wanting language all the same. A cloud is the egg you hold in your mouth. The baby, the thing you can't help but let in. Spun sugar is the cotton you consider breathing. The egg, I cherish it with my mind. My mind, a mouth sitting on top of a nest. All the same, birthright is the fiction America builds in me. Meeting my neighbors, I call them siblings. Singing false, I evict them without sprouting a feather. The joy I expected in abetting another's abandonment never arrives. My country, inescapable, escapes me. The world condenses to a word. The candy in the sky starts to cry. My tears sustain a thing, cherishing. A taut relation is a two-way string, talking into the tin can, talking into an echo. I derail its shape. I have forgotten the egg I came from, the one I came for. I have forgotten if I am bigger or smaller than my mother, the natural order. She understands my wanting, language. My mouth opens, cherry-stained. I am hungrier than she can stand to provide. With T. Hetzel at Living Writers, and I was very tickled because before the show, T was trying to figure out if you could say the word tits on the radio. We decided that yes, you can. So I have a poem in here with tits. It's not this one, but nipples come up. It was very funny to me, and one of her producers was suggesting teats, and I was just like, no, we're not doing teats. This is not a teats situation, okay. Thank you for laughing at my jokes. I always tell my students that they should laugh at my jokes, my undergrads mostly. My grad students, I hope, genuinely find me good company. Okay.
We do. Keep going.
Yeah. Okay. Field holiday. Well, aren't we special, and isn't this a good way to wind up in a couple's costume? You, the daddy, and me, the momless, released into a corn maze, looking for the goat kid braying. Like a human, I'm done being quiet, holding a braying of my own, and it shudders. I've been making light-based art very quaintly, and cooking and feeling tight in last year's clothes. I lean into it. More tit for you and new underwear for me. Nice to be a facet like a face of an object for a little while. At least I'm getting less pretty and more toothy. I'm sorry, are you unfamiliar with the animal version of my jaw? Dressed in an excuse to become a different character in the same sex fantasy where now you're the one to tell me hello by taking me into your mouth and you make no noise. Tell me if I'm blushing. Am I blushing? The color of my nipples flashes up to the ears, my face lined with a tissue, hot, endless. Look at my face. Watch my mouth get dressed up like a trick gift and tell me the pretty things I've done well and how good it makes me. Oh, I never know what to do last. Okay. Thanks for coming. Really, really lovely to be here with everyone. I invest in Horizon Futures. I lie when I say to my desire, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were waiting. My desire and I talk around a covenant. A former version of myself extracted a promise not to be stuck in line holding someone else's purse. I have been lying around my apartment in a shroud aspiring to a vision filled with constellated flares. My desire watches me undress and talks to me about anything other than my body. What's the damage? I give and open, I pay with plastic. I pile another grain of sand on my doubt. Adjusting a swimsuit along the curve of my ass, I show my desire a glimpse of that lighter flesh. At least a line is going somewhere to be broken. This, my plucky disposition, tell me again that story of elegance. My jealousy is embroidered with threads so expensive, I am ashamed of my wasting habit. I am recovering from conjugal logic. I drape myself in an ankle-long net of seedling pearls and call the woman in the mirror a bride. No one is happy, but here is my impression. This blue recedes to reveal another borrowed blue. I lied when I said to my desire, I didn't know you. Thanks so much.
How's your mom?
Not so much the exam part, the reading for the exam.
Oh,
Really?